side. I don't care which side. I didn't get to choose which one is the more bad side. I'm moving forward. I'm no longer in the cracks, no longer on the railroad tracks. I'm moving to the front. I don't belong way in the back.
Hey guys, what's up? Happy Friday and welcome back. Thanks so much for tuning in this week for another episode of the BMuz Reviews podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Musica. As always, we're going to analyze, review, and discuss the latest news and dive into the past regarding movies, music, video games, and much, much more. If you don't already, be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at BMuz Reviews, and tune into the BMuz Reviews podcast each week on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, and all other streaming platforms. If you're watching on YouTube, we thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and to hit the bell icon to receive notifications that informs you exactly when our podcast goes live, as well as all other video content. Also, be sure to visit our website at www.musicaprojects.com. There you will find all important links to our latest podcast episodes, new projects currently available, and also previews of those currently in development, along with our latest blog posts. If there's a question or a topic that you'd like us to discuss on the podcast, send them to bmuzreviews@gmail.com with podcast question/topic in the subject line. With all that out of the way, let's not waste any more time and get right to this week's news. Welcome everyone to the BMuz Reviews podcast. Alright, and topic number one today. Just as we spoke last week about Discovery buying Warner Media, another major acquisition has taken place within the world of entertainment. Amazon has officially acquired MGM Studios. Now, the development is detailed in a recent article by Variety, and I quote, Amazon has closed its $8.5 billion acquisition of MGM. The pact was first announced in May and has been winding its way through the regulatory process. Per Amazon, the storied, nearly century-old studio, with more than 4,000 film titles, 17,000 TV episodes, 180 Academy Awards, and 100 Emmy Awards, will complement Prime Video and Amazon Studios' work in delivering a diverse offering of entertainment choice to customers. MGM's film catalog includes 12 Angry Men, Basic Instinct, Creed, Rocky, Legally Blonde, Moonstruck, Poltergeist, Raging Bull, RoboCop, Silence of the Lambs, Stargate, Thelma and Louise, Tomb Raider, The Magnificent Seven, Pink Panther, The Thomas Crown Affair, and of course, the James Bond series. On the TV front, the studio has produced Fargo, The Handmaid's Tale, and Vikings, end quote. This is major news. Just as we see Discovery taking over Warner Media, we're going to see Discovery Plus merging with HBO Max into a new major streaming platform. We now see another major acquisition with this move in Amazon taking over and buying MGM, the two merging together with this $8.5 billion acquisition. It's really unbelievable to think about how Amazon has worked its way up from being what it was to what it is today. From basically an online startup to becoming the new owners of MGM. It's truly remarkable. They're already making tremendous amounts of money with Amazon Prime features as it is, and this will only continue to drive that mega success for years to come. Congratulations to Amazon, and I sincerely hope that the properties, especially the storied franchises from MGM Studios, most notably James Bond and many others, are treated with great care. So we'll have to wait to see what comes next. Topic number two today. Continuing with the recent developments within the world of streaming, Netflix is set to charge additional fees for password sharing. A recent article by Variety details this news, and I quote, Netflix will soon launch a test letting primary account holders pay an additional fee for users outside their households, a new attempt by the company to address illicit password sharing. According to Netflix Terms of Service, a customer's account may not be shared with individuals beyond your household. After years of turning a blind eye to password sharing behavior that falls outside that requirement, the company last year ran a limited test promoting users to enter their account credentials to nudge potential freeloaders into paying for their own accounts. With the Add an Extra Member feature, members with Netflix's standard and premium plans will be able to add subsidiary accounts up to 2 people that don't live with each other or have their own profiles, personalized recommendations, login, or password, for less than the cost of a separate Netflix plan, end quote. Well, the gig is up. It was fun while it lasted. Reports do indicate that Netflix is also estimated to save roughly $1.6 billion each year by ending password sharing. So, can't really fault them. And at the same time, they let people get away with it for this long. And, it was only a matter of time before something changed. And it looks like now is the time. I'm really curious, though, to see how this affects Netflix's membership base overall. Seeing especially how the online reaction to this news has been quite negative, as one would imagine. But in addition to the fact that prices have continued to rise exponentially over recent years, and that's been another point of concern, and a lot of people have questioned it, and a lot of people have displayed their displeasure with that as well. So definitely have to keep our eye on this for sure. But lots more to come, and we will definitely make sure to cover it here on the podcast. Now, topic number 3 today, the Batman continues to dominate the box office. According to Box Office Mojo, as of today, the Batman has grossed over $300 million domestically here in the United States and over $600 million worldwide. That is truly a staggering feat. I mean, honestly, a tremendous accomplishment by director Matt Reeves, the entire cast, and of course Warner Brothers. Truly amazing, and really glad that Matt Reeves' vision paid off and exceeded expectations by far for many. Although the film underperformed at the box office during its opening weekend in China, mainly due to the continued lockdowns, the film still has plenty of time to continue rolling in the dough, no doubt about it. Warner Brothers also announced that the Batman will be available to stream on HBO Max starting April 19th. But if you have not already gone to see it in theaters, then I highly recommend that you do so. This movie is incredible, and there's absolutely no greater way to watch and enjoy this movie than seeing it on the biggest screen possible. I promise you. Topic number 4 today. A Scream sequel is currently in development and set for a 2023 release. After a surprise January hit in Scream, a sequel is officially in development and already has its release date set for next year. According to a recent article by Deadline, and I quote, "Following the box office success of the latest installment of Scream, Spyglass Media Group and Paramount Pictures has given the green light to move forward with the next installment. Returning for the next film are directors Radio Silence with Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett at the helm, and James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick co-writing the screenplay. Project X Entertainment's Vanderbilt, Paul Neinston, and William Chirac are serving as producers. We are tremendously grateful to the fans around the world who enthusiastically received our film. We can't wait for audiences to see what Radio Silence writers Jamie and Guy and Project X for our Woodsboro family." Insiders say that following the film's recent opening weekend success, both Paramount and Spyglass were set to get all parties together and sign off on bringing both Radio Silence and Project X back. Scream earned a certified fresh score from Rotten Tomatoes and recently surpassed the $100 million global box office milestone. Scream is a long-running, genre-busting horror franchise that generated 4 feature films, including Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3, and Scream 4, all directed by the late Wes Craven. The Scream series went on to gross more than $600 million in a worldwide box office. Kevin Williamson wrote the original film as well as Scream 2 and Scream 4, end quote. And I also know Kevin Williamson served as executive producer for the most recent film, and he will also be returning to serve in the same role in this upcoming sequel as well. All the directors, producers, writers, as well as the cast and all the crew that work on these films, simply incredible. simply incredible job with the last film, and I'm really happy to see that this upcoming sequel has been greenlit and is currently in development, and it's already set for a release date set for the next year. That's fantastic to see, and very, very much deserved. It is so rare that you see franchises span multiple decades, not only remaining just as relevant, but if not becoming even more relevant and iconic since its initial debut, but also to continue developing and releasing original, high-quality, money-making installments. It really just serves as a true testament to the work that everyone puts in on these films, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing where the Scream franchise goes from here. Other than Batman, the one franchise that I would say I would do absolutely anything to appear in, it would be Scream. There's no doubt about it. But for now, I shall just continue to enjoy each film and have my eyes set on 2023. Alright, and topic number 6 today. Speaking of sequels in development, Judd Apatow recently revealed that a sequel to comedy hit This Is 40, starring Apatow's wife Leslie Mann, along with Paul Rudd, is currently in the works. Just first have to mention how awesome it is that a spin-off comedy series was created in the first place. It's very rare that you see that happen. And for those of you that don't know, Leslie Mann and Paul Rudd both appeared in 2007's comedy hit Knocked Up, starring Katherine Heigl and Seth Rogen. The film This Is 40 follows their characters from Knocked Up, and the daughters in This Is 40 are Judd Apatow and Leslie Mann's actual children. And I believe one of them actually has a role in the hit series Euphoria and will be appearing in Apatow's upcoming Netflix film The Bubble, which is a film that we previewed here on the podcast a few weeks back. Now, in a recent article from Joe Blow, this new development is discussed, and I quote, "In a recent interview from The Wrap to promote his upcoming Netflix film The Bubble, writer, director, producer Judd Apatow revealed that he's developing a sequel to one of his most personal films, This Is 40. The title? What else could it be but This Is 50? I've always wanted to make This Is 50, and it is time. Indeed, This Is 40 came out 10 years ago, so it would make sense for them to dig into the next chapter in the lives of Paul Rudd and Leslie Mann's Pete and Debbie," end quote. There's just something about original comedies that just hit different, especially when they're done well. It's just very refreshing. I'm very much looking forward to this. This Is 50, currently in development by Judd Apatow. Definitely looking forward to seeing what comes next about this. Stay tuned for more. Alright, and topic number 7 today. We are set to get our first look at Avatar 2 during the premiere of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The trailer is set to play before the premiere screenings. I really like this idea, and I think it's definitely going to work. Whether you're a fan of the first Avatar movie or not, it still stands as the highest grossing box office film of all time, and the man at the helm, James Cameron, owns 2 of the 3 top grossing films of all time, and he's returning to the helm to direct all 4 upcoming Avatar sequels. So I would not put anything past them. Jury's still out. We're going to have to wait to see what this thing looks like, but definitely intrigued to say the least, that's for sure. Now, Screen Rant details the plan to unveil the first look at Avatar 2 with the premiere of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness in the following article, and I quote, "The long-awaited trailer for James Cameron's Avatar 2 will reportedly be unveiled in front of the release of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Released in December of 2009, Cameron's original Avatar film was considered revolutionary and groundbreaking for the filmmaking world. Since then, moviegoers have been waiting on the edges of their seats for any news regarding its 4 highly anticipated sequels. Not much is known about the plot of Avatar 2. What has been confirmed is that the main characters, Jake Sully, played by Sam Worthington, and Neytiri, played by Zoe Saldana, will now have their own family and will be closer than ever. It is believed that human beings will return to the world of Pandora to finish what they have started in the first movie, forcing Jake and Neytiri's family to leave their home and to seek a new one. Also established is the fact that these sequels will be exploring different, never-before-seen locations on Pandora, along with new cultures and creatures. Disney may be planning to release the first trailer for Avatar 2 in front of Marvel Studios' Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which comes to theaters in early May. Since both of these movies are owned by Disney, it only makes sense. Plus, both movies are widely speculated to be the biggest blockbusters of the year. End quote. Now, one of the rumored titles of this film that has been floating around, and one that we also mentioned here before in the podcast, is Avatar 2: The Way of Water. Ultimately, it remains to be seen what the official title and what the story will be, but it definitely looks like we'll only have to wait less than 2 months until we receive our answers, right before seeing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Cannot come soon enough. Now, topic number 8 today. Shout out to all my fellow Ravenclaw. Daniel Radcliffe has no interest in returning to the Wizarding World. Now, when you talk about the Wizarding World, you want to talk about monumental franchises in terms of financial success between books, films, video games, everything you can imagine. Look no further than Harry Potter. Other than Star Wars and potentially the MCU recently, the Harry Potter franchise is without a doubt one of the most generation-shaking franchises that has absolutely taken the world by storm and still has a very firm grasp of it to this very day. The movies still hold up, and personally, I can watch them on repeat and never get bored or tired even slightly. And recently, the 20th anniversary special released on HBO Max, it was really fantastic, very well done. If you haven't seen it already, I highly recommend that you do so. And if you are a major Harry Potter fan, then it's almost a requirement. It's almost a requirement at that point. But recently, some questions began to surface with regard to the most recent book, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. And Daniel Radcliffe's recent comments are included in a recent article by ComingSoon.net. I quote, Harry Potter film director Chris Columbus had expressed his interest in directing Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint again in a film adaptation of the popular stage play Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Columbus teased that the potential reunion of the iconic trio as adults would be a cinematic bliss for fans, revealing that he was inspired by what J.J. Abrams did with the latest Star Wars trilogy. Now, in an interview with the New York Times, Radcliffe was asked to comment about Columbus's Cursed Child statement. This isn't the answer that anybody's going to want, but I think I was so able to go back and enjoy it because it's not a part of my day-to-day life anymore, Radcliffe said. I'm getting to a point where I feel like I made it out of Potter okay, and I'm really happy with where I am now. And to go back would be such a massive change to my life. I'm never going to say never, but the Star Wars guys had like 30, 40 years before they went back. For me, it's only been 10. It's not something I'm really interested in doing right now, end quote. And after hearing that, I can't blame the guy. I cannot blame the guy whatsoever. Whenever you think of Daniel Radcliffe, you are going to think of Harry Potter. And for him, he simply wants to write new chapters of his career. And nobody can blame him for that. Do I think we will see him return to the Wizarding World? Most definitely. Most definitely. Certainly down the road. But eventually. And not anytime soon, as he mentions here especially. But curious to know what your thoughts are. Are you hoping to see Radcliffe and the original cast members return to the Wizarding World to reprise their iconic roles on the big screen? If so, are you hoping to see an adaptation of The Cursed Child or an entirely different project? Send your thoughts and questions to bmuzreviews@gmail.com, and if you're watching on YouTube, comment below. Alright, topic number 9 today. Nicolas Cage to return as Ghost Rider in the MCU? A recent article by Epic Stream touches on this a bit more, and I quote, since rumors continue to swirl around that Nicolas Cage will return as Ghost Rider in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, it seems to be the perfect time for the actor to address all these rumors. In an interview with DQ, Ghost Rider star finally addressed all the casting rumors regarding his fan-beloved character. When asked if Cage is open to working with Benedict Cumberbatch in the future, Cage responded, "Oh, I don't think so. I don't think they're casting me. I mean, I would do it. It would be fun. I'd love to work with Cumberbatch, but I don't think that's happening." End quote. I'll tell you what, though. I would certainly love to see Cage return as Ghost Rider in that role. I really enjoyed seeing what he did with the character in the first film, and I've actually never seen the second film to this date. But his interest is definitely there, as well as the fan support, obviously. And even though this isn't happening now, according to Cage, Never say never, that's for sure. Hey guys, just want to take a minute to give a major shout out and say thank you to the sponsor of this week's episode of the BMuz Reviews podcast, Marla Jean Boutique. If you are seeking a gift either for yourself or a loved one who finds value in handmade items, then look no further than Marla Jean Boutique. She has a collection of trendy handmade items including clothing, wine bags, jewelry, and much, much more. Use the promo code BMuzReviews10 at checkout to receive 10% off your entire purchase. Connect with Marla Jean Boutique on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Marla Jean Boutique, and be sure to visit their website at www.marlajeanboutique.com. And once again, be sure to use the promo code BMuzReviews10 at checkout to receive 10% off your entire purchase. And now, back to the podcast. All right, topic number 10 today. Going to review and recap this past Wednesday night's episode of AEW Dynamite. This week's episode of AEW Dynamite came to us live from Austin, Texas, and the show kicked off with CM Punk versus Dax Harwood of FTR. This was CM Punk's first match after defeating MJF at Revolution over 2 weeks ago. This match worked really well, displaying Dax Harwood as a formidable singles competitor, while also allowing CM Punk to display the post-ring rust phase of his character following the MJF feud. Punk picked up the win, reversing Harwood's sharpshooter into an Anaconda Vice to pick up the win via submission. After the match, Punk took to the turnbuckle, saluted out to the crowd, and motioned a championship being around his waist. Will we possibly be seeing CM Punk challenge for an AEW World Championship match in the near future? That's a major question here. That's a major question going forward, and it certainly was a mega tease. We'll just have to wait to see what comes next with this. Next on the show, we saw the 8-man tornado tag team match between Darby Allin, Sting, the Hardys versus the AFO's Private Party, as well as the Butcher and the Blade. The match started off with a bang as Darby Allin wasted absolutely no time diving through the ropes directly into the Butcher, landing on the entrance ramp and the outside mat. Followed by then Sting diving off of the top rope, delivering a stinger splash onto the Blade on the outside of the ring as well. The 62-year-old wonder continues to provide magic each and every week, and it's such a glorious thing to see. Sting is just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Still just as awesome, and it's great. Gotta love it. So many insane spots in this match, between Private Party teaming up to deliver a dual side effect to Matt Hardy off the entrance landing through a table, then the Butcher throwing Darby down the arena steps next to the audience, and of course the huge spot, Jeff Hardy with an insane swanton bomb onto the Butcher and Blade off of the arena concourse ceiling through the tables. I mean, just unbelievable. Jeff Hardy still providing insane moments that will forever be remembered by all fans of wrestling. Seriously, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Matt, Sting, Darby, everyone at AEW, and certainly Tony Khan as well. Cannot believe that this was just the start of the show, too. For the next match, we saw the team of Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson take on the Varsity Blondes. Mox and Danielson picked up the win via dual submission, and after the match, Mox delivered an excellent promo, reinforcing the notion that anyone in their way better step up or prepare to be stepped on, and this time mentioning that for anyone thinking about coming to the faction and asking to join them, they must first earn it. This is a great segment, and I am very much looking forward to seeing what comes next for this new team, the Blackpool Combat Club, consisting of Mox and Danielson, managed by the one and only William Regal. Awesome stuff. Next, MJF came out, trashed the city of Austin and the entire state of Texas, then went on an entire rant about Wardlow. MJF called Wardlow a pig multiple times and stated that he signed a deal with the devil and that the devil's deals are ironclad. This further builds the feud and growing animosity between MJF and Wardlow. Later on the show, we saw Jay Lethal take on Adam Cole in a singles match. As great as Jay Lethal performed in this match, Red Dragon successfully distracted the referee long enough for Adam Cole to hit a low blow on Lethal, and then his finisher, the Boom, to pick up the victory. To even out the odds after the match, AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page came down to the ring, but still proved to be outnumbered as Cole and Red Dragon began overpowering the champion in the ring. AEW Tag Team Champions Jurassic Express then ran down to the ring to help the AEW Champion Paige, but Adam Cole walked away and up the entrance ramp with the AEW World Championship title. After another quick match between Layla Hirsch and Red Velvet, where Layla Hirsch picked up the win by cheating, scoring payback from her loss to Red Velvet last week on Rampage. After the match, Chris Statlander then came out for the save, a much more aggressive approach in the ring and with her character overall. Really awesome to see. Then TBS Champion was shown backstage with her manager, Smart Mark Sterling, planning her 30-win streak celebration. Then we also heard from newly crowned AEW Women's Champion Thunder Rosa. For about 10 seconds, then she was interrupted by Vicky Guerrero and then attacked by Nyla Rose, indicating that Nyla Rose is stepping up to be Thunder Rosa's first challenger for the AEW Women's Championship. Last on the show, we saw our main event featuring Chris Jericho and Daniel Garcia of the newly formed Jericho Appreciation Society versus the Dark Order's John Silver and Alex Reynolds. This was a solid match that displayed a few hot tags and many seamless tag team sequences, especially from Silver and Reynolds. In the end, these self-proclaimed sports entertainers, Jericho and Garcia, picked up the win for the Jericho Appreciation Society, and that closed out this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. Tonight on Rampage, 10 p.m. on TNT, some of the matches that are set to take place include Lance Archer versus Dustin Rhodes, Dark Order's Allen Angels and 10 versus Red Dragon, FTW Championship match between current champion Ricky Starks as he defends against Swerve Strickland, and much more. Now, topic number 11 today. Back to the Wizarding World, we recently received our first look at the upcoming, highly anticipated open world video game based within the Wizarding World created by J.K. Rowling. The still images revealed of the upcoming game Hogwarts Legacy look absolutely incredible. The recent PlayStation State of Play presentation is detailed in this recent article by Game Informer, and I quote, "Players will start by creating their new Hogwarts student who begins this wizarding adventure in their 5th year and will need to catch up to other students in their grade. You'll choose your house by sorting hat, of course, and enroll in classes Harry Potter fans are most likely to be familiar with. The demo shows charms, defense against the dark arts, herbology, and potions classes, along with some of the eccentric professors teaching the school's young minds. Hogwarts is filled with mysteries, with dungeons and secret passageways littered around its hallowed halls. Some areas will require a clever mind and some the right magical touch to unveil secrets hidden within. While Hogwarts Legacy takes place over 100 years before the Potter novels, some characters like the long-dead spirit Nearly Headless Nick can be found roaming the halls. Players will meet new friends in their time at Hogwarts, some of which will become companions. You'll learn all about these characters' backstories and embark on quests that relate to their lives. One such student is Sebastian Sallow, a Slytherin with a troubled family past. It's not all magical classes and friendship in Hogwarts Legacy. There are rumors going around the Wizarding World of a goblin rebellion that your student will somehow get tied up in. The footage shows plenty of spell slinging against sinister witches and wizards, goblins, and other magical enemies. Some spells highlighted in the presentation include stunning charms, shield charms, and other damaging incantations such as Fiery Incendio and Gravity-Inducing Descendo. Knowing a restorative spell like Reparo can rebuild destroyed bridges and other structures. The narrator pointed out players will even learn to use magic the school's talented professors don't understand. Characters can be upgraded through a talents and ability system using experience gained from challenges around the world. Further customization and improvement will come from gear looted from adventures or purchased with your hard-earned galleons, sickles, and nuts. Potions can also be used in combat to boost power or defense. Plants can act as battle pets, providing strength in numbers, and if all else fails, stun with an unbearable shriek of a mandrake. Hogwarts Legacy is set to release this year on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, but the State of Play unfortunately didn't provide a much anticipated release date. However, it did narrow it down to a holiday time frame. End quote. Absolutely cannot wait for this game, and I believe it's going to do very, very well with regard to its sales, without a doubt. And you already know that we're definitely going to be playing this game and featuring it on the channel when it does in fact come out, so stay tuned for more. Now, topic number 12 today, another album review this week. Going to take a look at The Tipping Point, the most recent album by Tears for Fears. Now, Tears for Fears has so many great hits spanning from the 80s and beyond, and this album is the group's first in 17 years. The album kicks off with the song No Small Thing, a beautifully written song that is honest and as organic as they come. And next we get The Tipping Point, the title track of the album, which is pure melodic magic, and it proves that the new wave sound is still very much alive and well. Still hoping to hear new music from Depeche Mode in the near future, my absolute favorite band of all time, but this track definitely serves as the perfect appetizer. A catchy chorus and great use of synthesizers throughout. Really good stuff. Next we get the track Long, Long, Long Time, which is definitely the perfect song to blast while you're cruising down the highway at night. Next song, Break the Man, brings back the strong pairing between guitar and synth, a classic Tears for Fears sounding track. If you close your eyes listening to this track, you wouldn't know whether it came out 2022 or 1986. As someone that loves everything 80s, I am beyond here for it. Love this track, Break the Man. Next song kicks the album into high gear with a futuristic sound that only Tears for Fears could pull off in such a way. This was Tears for Fears meets Shinedown, and I loved every second. Next we get Rivers of Mercy, which is just another beautiful track. Piano, followed by accordion and chimes in the very beginning, melodic vocals, pizzicato guitar playing throughout as well, then leading to the choir in the chorus. This song is musical production at its finest, truly. Next song, Please Be Happy, another great track led by the piano along with a strong chorus. This track also had great noir vibes as well. I really loved it. Really digged it. Next, Master Plan, a really nice song and another example of the excellent production on this album. The track is heavy bass driven and brings back the strong synth notes as well. Really have to mention also the excellent choir added to many of the songs on this album. Truly elevates each song and takes each entirely to new heights. Next on the album, the song End of Night brings a strong Duran Duran-esque sound to the album, and you could almost mistake the beginning vocals for Simon Le Bon. Nonetheless, this is another solid track on the album and definitely the heaviest pop song, one that's meant to blast and turn up to 11 in the club and when going out for a night in the city. Last but certainly not least, we get the final song on the album, Stay, a song that naturally progresses throughout, continues to build, and serves as a major reflection on the album as a whole, in addition for those listening. This song is the perfect track to close out on what is truly a remarkable album from Tears for Fears. They are on tour this spring and summer with Garbage. Definitely would love to see them when they come around, and I encourage you to do the same if you are able to. Most of all, I highly encourage you to take the time out of your day to check this album out. Really, really great stuff. Super refreshing, and I just love that the new wave sound is still going strong. Bravo and many congratulations to Tears for Fears on their latest and fantastic new album, The Tipping Point. Definitely check it out now. Alright, and topic number 13 today. This week we're doing another round of What Are They Filming and What Should I See? This week we're featuring Sandra Bullock. This comes from her respective bio provided by IMDb. Sandra Annette Bullock was born in Arlington, a Virginia suburb of Washington, D.C. Her mother, Helga Bullock, was a German opera singer. Her father, John W. Bullock, was an American voice teacher who was born in Alabama of German descent. Sandra grew up on the road with her parents and younger sister and spent her childhood in Nuremberg, Germany. She often performed in the children's chorus of whatever production her mother was in. That singing talent later came in handy for her role as an aspiring country singer in The Thing Called Love in 1993. Her family then moved back to the Washington area during her adolescence. She later enrolled in East Carolina University in North Carolina, where she studied acting. Shortly afterwards, she moved to New York to pursue a career on the stage. This led to acting in television programs and then feature films. She gave memorable performances in Demolition Man in 1993 and Wrestling Ernest Hemingway in 1993 as well, but did not achieve the stardom that seemed inevitable for her until her work in the smash hit Speed in 1994. She now ranks as one of the most popular actresses in Hollywood. For her role, The Blind Side in 2009, she won the Oscar, and her blockbusters, The Proposal in 2009, The Heat in 2013, and Gravity in 2013, made her a bankable star. With $56 million, she was listed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the highest paid actress in the world. In terms of what Sandra Bullock is currently filming, she's currently attached to 2 projects currently in development. First being Brownie Wise, the story of marketing executive Brownie Wise, who boosted the sales of plastic containers invented by Earl Silas Tupper in the 1950s by setting up Tupperware parties. And the second movie being Vigilance, a remake of Les Convières, where a security guard for an armored truck company begins to exhibit unusual behavior. And the third movie, already filmed and set to release this summer, Bullet Train, alongside Brad Pitt, which is a movie that we previewed on the podcast a few weeks ago and the trailer dropped. The movie is set to release June 15th, 2022 in theaters. Now, in terms of movie picks, pick number 1 for Sandra Bullock films, definitely Speed. Sandra Bullock, Keanu Reeves, can't go wrong with this film. Number 2, The Blind Side, the film that brought her the Oscar. Definitely recommend seeing this film if you haven't seen it already. Absolutely great story. Pick number 3, Crash. Absolutely loaded cast, and this film did very well when it came out and also at the Oscars as well, bringing many Oscars to those involved. And pick number 4, The Proposal, a smash romantic comedy hit with Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock. Can't go wrong with this film, and can't go wrong with any 4 of these films. Definitely recommend checking all 4 of these out if you haven't already done so. Sandra Bullock, this week's feature on What Are They Filming and What Should I See? Now, our final topic today, just want to preview, as always, some upcoming content that we're going to be seeing on our YouTube page, including movie reactions and gameplay videos. Movie reactions, will start off with some random picks of movies that I haven't seen yet, and then we'll be able to take your recommendations and add them to our list. Gameplay videos will also be coming soon as well, diving into my vast collection of retro games. Picks will start off random as well, and we'll be able to take your recommendations and add them to our list to complete it for the channel. If you haven't already done so as well, visit our link tree for all of our social links. Then also, including in the link tree, is our master collection of our retro games. So check that out, and you can recommend any games that you want to see us complete on the channel, and we'll definitely be doing so. And that just about wraps up this installment of the BMuz Reviews podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Musica. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at BMuz Reviews, and be sure to listen every week on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, and all other streaming platforms. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to receive notifications that inform you exactly when our podcast and all other videos are out. And as mentioned, be sure to visit our website, www.musicaprojects.com. There you'll find all the links to our social pages, links to our latest podcast episodes, and also be able to read our latest blog posts as well. We'll be back next Friday with a new episode of the BMuz Reviews podcast, so stay tuned for more. And as always, in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.